This is The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. It is always a pleasure to record these videos, to edit them, put my unique spin on them for your viewing pleasure, for your listening pleasure. And if you like the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. Share these videos with other people that you know that like comic book related stuff as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Which one? All. Not personalized or the one underneath, but all. So the next time a new video is dropped, you'll know about it second. You'll know about it voice. I said all that in one breath. I got all my pleasantries out of the way so we can get right down to the heart of the matter. You've clicked on the thumbnail. You already know what this is about. DC's Clayface movie will be molded by director James Watkins. Let me tell you guys off the bat. I don't know who James Watkins is. Now, the only movie that they attached to his name was something called Speak No Evil. Now, when I first heard it, I thought it was See No Evil. The one with the WWE movie with Kane, where he was Jacob Goodnight. But no, it's Speak No Evil, not See No Evil. All right? So I don't know who James Watkins is, but we're going to get right into the article. The author is Justin Carter. I don't think we've ever done any articles by Justin Carter before. I don't recognize his name. All right, so the shape-shifting Batman villain now has a director to helm his solo film set to release in September 2026. September 11th, 2026. That's the date for the Clayface movie that nobody asked for, but one that we're getting and one that looks like is gaining in popularity. All right. Now, I've said previously, I would love to see, Clayface's clay form animation look similar to the way the Mind Flayer looked in season 3 of Stranger Things. Like when all those people were like melting and just formed and coagulated into that big nasty creature. I always said that. So if the animation of Clayface in his clay form resembles like the movement, the viscosity, Viscosity, the more you know, of that Mind Flayer, I will be very satisfied with the special effects for Clayface. Because it's not easy to do Clayface, you know what I'm saying? So September 11th, 2026 is when Clayface drops. Now, the last few months have seen Warner Brothers fast track a movie starring the Batman villain Clayface. After recent reports about a director hunt, the studio has named its choice, James Watkins, previously of Eden Lake and 2024's Speak No Evil remake. I don't know either one of those movies. According to The Hollywood Reporter, or THR, Watkins nailed his presentation to James Gunn and will now helm the film, whose script comes from popular horror writer-director Mike Flanagan. Whatever this, I don't know who that is either. I just said it like it was somebody of note. Whatever this film ends up being, THR says to expect something with a $40 million budget that's likely to shoot later this year. I like that. I like that. It's a very low budget movie. And it seems like it's going to be in the horror genre. So this means that the acting, the suspense, the cinematography, and the photography will have to be on point so that it's not cheap jump scares or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever ends up nabbing the role of Clayface here, a fading actor who injects himself with a substance, that ends up granting him shape-shifting abilities, is expected to also play the character outside of live action, as is Gunn's edict for the whole DC movie slate. If that's true, that means that Alan Tudyk will have to be Clayface. Now, Alan Tudyk played Dr. Phosphorus in Creature Commandos, but he did voice Clayface, and he was also Clayface in Harley Quinn, the animated series. Now, there's no correlation between James Gunn's universe and Harley Quinn, the animated series. But if we're going by that, since he voiced Clayface in episode 6 or 5, episode 5, The Iron Pot of Creature Commandos, Alan Tudyk has to play him, I think. But it's going to be CGI anyway, though. Clayface will be the first Batman villain who isn't a chaotic murder clown to headline a solo movie. He tends to appear fairly regularly outside of comics. In animation, he's been in Batman, the animated series, some of the best episodes of Feet of Clay, The Batman, both as Basil Karlo and original character Ethan Bennett, okay? I love that cartoon, all right? And Batman Cape Crusader, Nickelback frontman Chad Kroeger also voiced him in the Batwheels cartoon. He's also popped up in the Lego Batman games, okay? I can attest to that. And even came to live action in both Gotham and Pennyworth, where the character was reimagined as a woman. Most recently, Alan Tudyk voiced the villain during his brief appearance in Creature Commandos, and he also voices the character in Harley Quinn. I just said that. Expect James Watkins' Clayface to hit theaters September 11th, 2026. Now, this has been an outstanding article, okay? It's told us about the movie. It's told us it's only going to be a $40 million budget. That is amazing in this day and time, because now they're spending like $200 million on these comic book movies. This seems like it's going to be like a gritty character tale that could be almost in line with like the Universal monster movies from the 30s, where it's just about Clayface. Maybe there is no Batman. Maybe there is no Gotham City. Or maybe there's a Gotham City, but, Gotham City is kind of a horror setting anyway. All those gargoyles, overlooking the city. And Batman next to him. But Batman could potentially not even be in this film. So if it's character driven, again, this is referring to Basil Karlo, the struggling actor version of Clayface, okay? Now, in the Batman the Animated Series, it was Matt Hagen, but the original is Basil Karlo, which I believe is a play on the name of Boris Karloff. Could be, I don't know. All right. But I like the way this looks. It's not overblown. It's not out of control. But yes, Clayface is getting a movie. It will be dropping September 11th, 2026. Now, let's just give a brief update on all of the movies slated to be dropping for the DCU. Now, of course, in just a few months from now, we will have Superman, July 11th, 2025. Next year, we have a date. Next year, we are getting Supergirl. Yeah, Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, June 26th, 2026. That will be starring Millie Alcock. Now, we know her as the younger version of Princess Rhaenyra from House of the Dragon. Okay? Clayface will be following and dropping the same year as Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Okay? Now, these other movies, they do not have dates, but they are slated to be dropping. The Authority, a group of sort of ragtag, that's James Gunn's, his pet peeve, ensemble cast of sort of B and C tier list characters, and he just brings to the forefront like he did with Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad. Okay? So The Authority will be dropping. It will be a movie. Okay? Batman the Brave and the Bold, directed by Andy Muschietti. Where do you know that name from? He directed The Flash. 2023 is The Flash starring Ezra Miller. And even though the film was maligned because of the off-camera antics of Ezra Miller, I believe that Andy Muschietti is the man for the job. I just believe that, okay? In faith, I'm saying that. And Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing will be directed by James Mangold. There's not a date for Swamp Thing. James Mangold, he directed Logan, a movie that a lot of men cried at. And a lot of them saw it only once because of how much it hit. So James Mangold is a great director. Now, other films that don't have titles but are in the rumblings. There's an untitled Teen Titans film in the works. Yes, the Teen Titans are coming to live action in the DCU. No title, no name. A Bane and Deathstroke movie is coming to the DCU. Bane and Deathstroke. So you gotta have Batman in that one, right? Bane and Deathstroke? Alright. Now, the last time I saw Bane and Deathstroke together was in Young Justice. That was season 3, where Batman, Katana, and Metamorpho, who will be in Superman with David Cartensweat, Metamorpho will be played by what's his name? Can't remember his name off the top. Alright. The actor's name. But they were on Santa Prisca, battling Deathstroke, battling Bane, battling Lady Shiva of the League of Assassins. Okay? And finally, we'll be having a Sergeant Rock movie. Who is Sergeant Rock? If you ever watch a period piece DC animated short, not short, but DC animated film, this is where we run into Easy Company in World War II. Sergeant Rock was the leader of that group. Now, in Justice League Unlimited, just Justice League, when they went back in time in the 3-part special, The Savage Time, where Vandal Savage kind of went back in time and messed things up, Green Lantern's ring ran out of power. John Stewart Green Lantern, who's a former Marine. And he met up with Easy Company, and he was like sort of grafted into the crew of Easy Company. That is Sergeant Rock. We also saw him in Creature Commandos. Cheers for the Tin Man. Yeah, Cheers for the Tin Man. Episode 3 of Creature Commandos. G.I. Robot was rolling around with Easy Company. Sergeant Rock. Now, obviously, it's going to be a war film because it's always set in World War II. Will we see G.I. Robot in live action? Who knows? But anyway, that is the slate. That is what we have on the docket, okay, as far as DCU movies come, live action. We got a date for Clayface. We have a date for Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. And we know that Superman, featuring David Corn Sweat and Rachel Brosnahan, as well as Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, is dropping this year, July 11th, 2025. So it's not too far away from that. Now, if you found this to be informative, this video, telling you about the movies coming up to the DCU, hit the like button, share it, okay? Now, leave a comment, leave a dissertation if necessary. In other words, be as wordy as you need to be to discuss these things that I've discussed, okay? David Brent, please let them know where those comments or dissertations go, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brent. Warnham Hog's finest, The Office UK. Do your part, I'll do my part, so The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can and will expand